Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are back working on Helen, and everybody's been asking, Colin, what are you doing for exhaust? Zoomies? Are you doing zoomies again? We really love the zoomies. Everybody's loving the zoomies. So, not gonna have the same zoomies as I had last time. We're gonna change it up a little bit, but we're not running a collector. Starting out, badass valve covers. We have a 2-inch stainless flange. You can see the exhaust ports over here. Ports from Hooper heads, freaking huge. The 243s barely filled this up. Like, you could see space all around it. So the roof rides the top of this, and then just a little bit on the bottom that doesn't hit. So these are 2-inch flanges, just to give you guys a little idea there. Piping that we're using, as you can tell, pretty large, 2.5-inch pipe, right? Most people make their exhaust system out of that. Just their exhaust, not their primaries. But us on the other hand, let me tell you what we're doing. Over at Door Sandwich Garage, we use 2.5-inch for our primaries. Yep, full stainless headers. As you can see, no collector, 2.5-inch primaries. You guys, this is going to be one of the loudest rigs out at the burnout events. You can see I got little pipes holding it up. Look at these freaking headers. So, are they zoomies? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. I don't know the definition of zoomies. I know that I'm not running a collector, and it's going to sound pretty insane. But all these came in a kit that you can buy just on Amazon. They're super easy. And just kind of made it all together, of course. Door Sandwich Garage fabricator Teresa welded them up. She got pretty creative on welding these and holding them all together. But the color and the pipe, she did a fantastic job welding these. She always gives herself a hard time trying to make herself better because she just wants to be a better welder. But she really, truly did do a nice job. All the guys that walk in the shop, like customers that come in, have just been oohing and on over this thing, and it feels pretty good. You know, the Rat Rod's always been something that's like, that's cool, you know, but whatever. Now that it has this motor, these badass headers and everything, and it's like a legit setup, everyone thinks it's badass. So pretty happy with these headers. Trying to think of how many renditions of headers I've done on the Rat Rod. Let's go through them. But yeah, let's go through them. All right, starting out, OG Bullhorns, small block Chevy. Next up, my first idea of doing a turbo kit with the stock manifolds that I had. They were block hugger manifolds that I flipped upside down and just started MIG welding stuff in my garage. So that one was probably the least desirable one. Next is these forward facing ones that Patrick actually gave me, and I just welded the exhaust on to make a turbo kit. From there, we swapped out the small block, said adios, no more small block. After we did that small block, we went over and put the LS in, and from there, I went to my local exhaust shop, bought some 2-inch tubing, had them do 8 bends with straight pieces, and I just welded them straight to the flange and gaps and everything, and we filled them in. The zoomies are over here. Let me show you what the zoomies look like. I actually took these over to Hooper's and sandblasted them just because I was gonna put them back on, but I just started looking at all this, and don't get me wrong, they're cool. They're loud, awesome. But if you really look at it, the craftsmanship is just lacking a little bit, you know? I mean, they worked, but when you have something like this, I put them on and it wasn't it. It didn't look good. Now, when you do these, you start looking at them, you're like, all right, that fits the bill. that fits it real good. So try to make them as equal length as possible, so it should sound pretty sweet. But my main goal is to get the exhaust pointed back towards the tires. I got about a good decent length right there. That should give me enough room to not catch them on fire. That's the hopes anyways. The tire fires are pretty common with guys that point exhaust towards the tires. So I gave a solid 4 feet of exhaust travel. So I'm really hoping we don't have tire fires, because we have about 20 gallons of methanol and 3 gallons of oil back there. So that would be pretty bad to catch all that on fire. So it wouldn't be good. Let's try and stay away from that. But the hard part comes now. This side is done. Now we got to do the other side, and I am not looking forward to that, because we got to copy this, and to be honest, I use most of the parts in this kit, so I'm gonna have to buy another kit. No big deal, but just another thing that I got to buy. So we're gonna go ahead and get another kit coming from Amazon and just keep plugging away on this bad girl. She's getting close. First event we're trying to make, Streetcar Takeover, June 1st. All right, so I had the converter in the lathe here because I had to turn down the hub on this a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch. So I had the little spacer that you run between the LS and a Turbo 400, but when you have a mid plate, you're spaced out a bunch. So when I put this, technically this setup doesn't need a spacer, but the fact that I had the mid plate, it needed a spacer, but when you buy the spacer, it's for a different offset. So that mid plate put it like right in between, to where when I put the spacer in, it was too tight. The converter didn't have enough pull out. And then when I didn't run it, I had way too much pull out to get it to center in the other crankshaft. So I'm turning down the converter so that I can add the spacer, and it should be right where I need it to be. Took off 1/8 of an inch, which is minimum for pull out that you want. I was pretty much right at 0 with the spacer and everything. It was pretty much right just there. So I took a tiny bit more than 1/8 of an inch out, because you want between 1/8 and 13/16. So I'm gonna go ahead, put this back in, put the transmission in again. I'm getting really good at taking this transmission out. But anyway, I think this is going to be the last time. I pray, I hope. But just nice that at LME we got a machine shop to do this type of stuff, because a lot of people would be stuck for weeks on this, and I'm able to get it done in a couple hours. So I'm pretty thankful that I get a full machine shop at my disposal. So again, shout out to LME. guys, I have not been filming and I am sorry, but Helen runs and I just I've been shit-eating grin this whole fucking time. Just soaking it all in. Yeah, I think the last thing I videoed was Teresa doing headers. Headers are awesome. They're loud and badass. The headers are amazing. She did such a good job on them. I did a lot of the like cutting and forming of them, and then she did all the welding. Very, very nice job. I got all the coils relocated. You can see here. That's everything there. Some stuff that I did this weekend as well was got this dry sump tank all ironed out. Something that's really nice is it doesn't look like it milked the oil in the idle, which is awesome because it was doing that before. So that's cool. I'm sorry, I'm just so ecstatic. I was trying to go over all the stuff I did. Yeah, so dry sump tank. I made all the lines for the dry sump. Throw a little video here of the dry sump lines. Got all the plug wires on. Mounted the water pump. You can see, got the water pump mounted up. Ran. I need to get water in here. I started it without water, but it doesn't matter. It's on methanol. I only idled it for probably 20-30 seconds, so no big deal there. But no, I primed it, got it with oil pressure, and started her up, and she is so loud. This thing sounds like a freaking top alcohol dragster or something. 2.5-inch headers for the primaries, and you can see I didn't do a collector or nothing. I just have them all nice tips like that. I thought that would look cool, and I'm right, you know. Imagine that, I'm right again, you know. Oh my gosh, this thing sounds so good. It sounds amazing. I can't even describe it. But no, I've been busting butt on this thing for like the last week. I've pulled this transmission in and out about 4 or 5 times. Originally I posted a video that I forgot to put the flex plate in, so I had to pull the transmission, put the flex plate in, and the spacing ended up being wrong on the transmission converter to flex plate, and I just had to go through a bunch of different things, pulling it in and out. Just my own ignorance. I wasn't really sure, and I thought I was, and I wasn't. So I had to go through, do some customizing, making some stuff work that wasn't really supposed to work. But the mid plate that I have kind of messed me up, and there's a lot of things that happened, but that's irrelevant. She's back together, and I am stoked. I am so excited. I really appreciate you guys watching. I just can't even explain how excited I am. I don't know what else I have to do at the moment besides just enjoy the beauty of this baby. But I'm probably gonna get cleaned up, get ready to pull this thing out tomorrow. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and Helen's gonna be ripping soon, very soon.
How was that?
That was sick.
Say that exhaust worked perfectly.
Yeah?
Just blowing it all the way back.
Yeah? Nice.
The first test with Helen went really good. We are all finished up. She runs, she drives. The Speedmaster blower, converter, and rear end did everything they're supposed to do. Couldn't be more happy with the setup. I have to thank all my sponsors so much. I'm gonna put them all down here. I really appreciate every single one of them for helping make this happen. The very first burnout is done. Helen is a freaking beast. She is going to tear it up this season. Can't wait to go to these competitions. Can't wait to go to these competitions, tear it up, show some Australians what's up. Probably not, but gonna just talk a little shit, you know, just a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna take this thing home. Huge thanks to Elamy. Helen's been here for a while, and she's finally done. She's finally freaking running. I got myself a blown alcohol rat rod. I can't freaking believe it.